Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. No, I'm going back to my account. Good evening to you, just after 10 o'clock here in Portugal. How are you? As you may have noticed, Carl Munson here alone this evening. Mrs. M is with the kids, but let's see what we can do, because I feel a bit bad now. Maxine's been in touch already. Oh, this beautiful couple, she says, sweet dreams for me. I'm assuming you're talking about me and Louise. It's very kind of you, Maxine. Home is where you hang your hat, methinks. So this is, I think, a response to Deagle's earlier comment about homesickness for expats, which is a good theme to look at. This is the Feelgood Portugal show, of course, at 10 o'clock on a Saturday evening here in Portugal. And we like to keep it positive and upbeat and go a little bit off-piste from where we normally are on a weekday morning. Hence my fancy dress moustache, for example, this evening. Although I wear this every weekday morning as well. But to give you the idea, this is where we go off the edge a little bit on a Saturday night and talk about things we might not talk about ordinarily on a weekday morning. So yeah, let's face the fact of being homesick when one is. Oh, that's a good news, isn't it? No static. Thank you, Deagle, for that very quick check. And there's even a jazz funk track of the day tonight. Winter Sadness. Is that a real one? Seriously, is Summer Madness? Is there a counterpart track to that called Winter Sadness? That's amazing if there is. And look, yeah, Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne Derringer. Good evening, Mr. M. Hope Louisa will join you soon. I don't think that is going to happen this evening, not in the usual way, but she may well chip in the comments. I hope she will. So thank you to everybody who's greeting both of us, but I think it might just be me. And yes, for sure, Winter Sadness, the counterpart of Summer Madness. And it's very appropriate this evening. So thank you very much for that, for bringing that to my attention. I'm surprised I had to ask you that. I'm so sorry. That's kind of exposed me, isn't it? It's a bit of a jazz funk fake. But I really like the fact that we had a Faisia de Dia. We have the track of the day now is a Faisia de Dia on the morning show with Capricorn 12. Chris shares with us a fantastic, good one from the jazz funk record stack. Okay, so let's get into it. I've already distracted myself several times. What I wanted to tell you was just looking at my list over to camera left. Philomena has been somewhere special. Actually, I think I also need to change my branding here. I stopped my opening theme. I had a little trouble with my opening tonight. Less said, the soonest mended. I had a little bit of trouble because I was switching between branding, and I had the theme tune was in one area, and I switched out of it, and then it killed the theme tune, or the opening sequence anyway, which caused me a little bit of a panic. I actually screamed out loud. So I'll go back to the one I want to have, which is this one, okay, which is where all the videos and the pictures are that people have been sending in, and very, very, very beautiful they are too, and much to share with you tonight, including Philomena's pictures from somewhere very special that she's been. Regulars will know where she's been this week, and it's amazing some of the material that she's been sending to me. We've got a couple of pictures from, I think I'll share some from James Holly's collection that he shared with me as a little bit of a preview to the part 2 of him being with me next Thursday, because it just wasn't enough time last Thursday. And actually, while I'm about it, hold on a minute, is my green screen failing? Let me just turn that way a little bit. That's better, isn't it? Saturday night is a really nice way to catch up on what we didn't resolve during the week. So there were quite a few photos and vids that were sent that we didn't manage to play because of all the chat and technical problems, etc. So Saturday night is a nice time to unwind. I know a lot more of our American friends can join us, which is really nice. And it's a bit more leisurely and it's a little bit alternative, a little bit different. We might, as I said, we might discuss some of the things we might not ordinarily discuss on a weekday morning. So tonight, Philomena, she has been to a fabulous place, as you may have discovered during the week. But if you don't know, it's Ribatejo Valley, and it's to do with horses, the biggest horse event. Actually, it's one of the great horse events across Europe, and typically Portuguese. Probably not as many people know about it as they need to. So she's been there, and all will be revealed in a little while. Got some lovely videos and stills from that day out. Wonderful day out she's obviously had today. Mark and Mary, I don't think I managed to share the pictures from Mark and Mary. They're in the Azores, having a fantastic, Azores, or Azores, as our American friends like to say, having a fantastic time, sending me beautiful pictures, really, really special. I think we might have featured them on Friday morning, but I want to dwell on those a little bit. Mount Pico is worth a second look for sure. Carlos in North Dakota, I wonder if you're tuned in this afternoon. It's snowing in North Dakota. Where's that coming from? Is that WhatsApp pinging me? I think I'm going to have to turn off these blooming notifications. Bear with everybody. Settings. You don't want that going on. Or do you want to send me something and be able to hear that? Desktop alerts, sounds. Let's turn that off for a moment. If you like that, let me know and I'll put it back on. So yeah, Carlos in North Dakota, Thunder Ducks, Thunder. Some people are very glad to hear that there is no static this evening, and it sounds like we're back to normal with the sound quality. Do let me know if that's the case. Thunder really helped me out this afternoon. It was just his very presence. He must be some sort of gifted sonic healer or something, because I thought we were going to be here for hours taking computers apart and stuff with him in Lisbon and me here. All I had to do was get in contact with him online. It was all fixed, which I think it is now, which is great. So thank you to him, and thank you for his video of San Martino de Porto as well, because he came over during the week and we hung out a little bit, and he made I didn't even know he was making a video, and he sent it to me soon after his visit. So we've got that to share. Dougie's been making videos. Douglas Hughes, wonderful Douglas Hughes, who you might know from the wine club. And if you didn't know, we used to have a wine club. Do you know what? We used to have a wine club. And that was what evening of the week? I think that was Thursdays, where we used to have our Good Morning Portugal wine club. Doug, who you might remember from that, is in Portugal at the moment, sending me fantastic 2-minute tasters of Portugal. And thank you, Jeff. Isn't it lovely to know? Wasn't it a pain in the last few days? I honestly don't know what it was, but I know that it's sorted out now. And Deagle, I think it was me sending a WhatsApp message. Yes. You could have quite a lot of fun with that, couldn't you? If I'd left the notifications on, you could just keep pinging me. What's that? Oh, it's you. It's you. Square Eyes says, I have a facial do dia rather than a fagia do dia. Always have one on the go. You're keeping you regular, I suspect, Square Eyes there. So a fajoal do dia and a fagia do dia. I did not realize that those were so close. You've got to be careful asking for a track of the day or a bean casserole of the day. Sounds so much better. Cheers, Pete. Thank you for letting me know. Sounds so much better. Well done, Thunder and Cole. That is superb. And thanks for tuning in tonight, Pete. So we have Philomena, Mark and Mary in the Azores. Philomena, I'll give the game away now. She's been in Golgar today. And some of you might be saying, where? Golgar in the Ribatejo Valley, amazing town. And it is the epicenter of the 450th, I believe. Can it be 450th? Did we make a mistake with our... I'll have to have a look at her poster. Actually, I'll bring it up now. It's made me think saying that out loud. 450 years, yes. Oh, okay. So it's 450 years of the San Martino holiday festival, started in 1571 and all the way through, obviously, to this weekend, 2021 in Golgar. I don't know if the horse fair is synonymous with the St. Martin's fair, and if it's been 450 years of both events. But anyway, clearly an event steeped in a very rich and historic tradition in Portugal. And that's where Philomena's been today and is sending me some lovely videos and pics for your delight. The person I forgot to mention, of course, is Terrence. It was my great pleasure to hang out with the amazing Austin brothers, who I now call them. I look forward to calling them onto the stage one day. and asking you to please, will you give? They do like a warm hand on their opening, those amazing Austin brothers. And it'd be so funny to have an evening with the Austin brothers. And Pete Bleach will tell you that, I'm sure. They are such a funny pair of brothers, in a good way. Well, funny haha and funny peculiar, it has to be said. And I was hanging out with them earlier on today, and so much giggling. I very nearly literally wet myself several times, and it would have been worth it. It would have been worth the inconvenience because it was such fun hanging out with you two. And Terrence of the brother, actually, two lots of talent. Terrence, the artist brother, and I'm sure Garvo won't mind me referring to Terrence as the artist brother. But we have a podcast from him tonight of his virgin olive picking experience, which is a lovely little audio memory of his day out olive picking. And while that's playing, I want to show you his very excellent work on his website as well, which is superb. And he had a very poignant tribute on the 11th of the 11th, which I hope to show you as well, as you're hearing him reading his own words from his blog of the same name. I think it's something like Confessions of a Virgin Olive Picker, but you'll get the gist of that later on. And then talking of talent in the among the amazing Austin brothers, next Wednesday it has been confirmed. Hashtag Batterman. Owen will be in the kitchen and will be on Wednesday. Ask anything about Portuguese food. Okay, Wednesdays are Ask Anything About Portugal, and we're going to theme it Ask Anything About Portuguese Food. I haven't told Owen that yet, but I'm sure he'll be fine about it. And he's going to be cooking live, and it's going to be the vision mixing skill and production skills of Gary Austin. I think a little bit of help from Terrence, but Garvo will be in control of that in Studio A for Al Viagra. So live from the Al Viagra studio, a cooking special themed as Ask Anything About Portuguese Cookery with the batter man himself, known for his batter. That's Owen, who is the alchemist, the food alchemist, an amazing talent in the kitchen. Available for hire, and he will be with us, dazzling us, splurging the batter on Wednesday morning of next week. Simon's here as well. Paul's here. Come back and say hello to you all properly in a little while. Good evening and hola from Simon Wright, who says the sound is crisp and clear. That's how we like it, isn't it? If you hear any little bits of static, I'm sure I'll be the first to know, and you do let me know. Okay. What's this? He's opened another tab, which in the 70s would have meant, and in the 60s would have meant one thing, in the 70s would have meant something else, and now in this day and age, he has opened another tab, and I have Winter Sadness playing in the background on a low volume setting as a bit of background music for the show. Can't be bad. It's amazing how well your voice blends in perfectly with the track. Feel Good Portugal. Nice one. Maybe others can try that. And be careful which music you choose. I don't think it would sound too good with any death metal in the back or something like that. But who knows? Maybe it would. Maybe that would be a good mashup. Feel Good Portugal and a bit of Anthrax, if that's indeed what their genre is going on in the background. Knock Knock, is this the Munson channel? Well, yes. I don't know if Knock Knock is a bit of a complaint there, Maxine, that you're not seeing Mrs. M. But I tell you what, why don't you put messages specifically for Louisa, Mrs. M, in the comments, and then I'll send them to her on Messenger, WhatsApp, and any other way I can think of getting them to her this evening. She's not far from me, but she's with the kids at the moment. And let's see if she answers in the chat. I don't think she'll be able to resist your charms, everybody, if you send messages for her attention. So do some @Louisa's, if you will, in the comment, and I'll send them on, and we'll get her to speak up in the chat herself. Okay, so where should we begin this evening, I wonder? I'm thinking, because I've had such a fabulous day in San Martino de Porto, I may well begin with Thunder Duck's video of San Martino de Porto. I think I actually have to upload it as well first. Yes, I do. It won't take long, this. And actually, while I'm about it, I need to... Yes, I'm not in the same position that I was in tonight when I made myself scream when I came face to face with myself on air whilst I was trying to play the opening countdown. I'm uploading that as well. So not long now, I'm going to have this San Martino de Porto tunnel experience for you. And actually, yeah, I'm going to share one or two photographs that I took this morning. Photograph sounds really quite old-fashioned, doesn't it? Yeah, I found a new beach recently, and as I said on the Thursday night webinar, it's like, it's a bit like discovering America, isn't it? It was there, and there were people there, but there's always someone who comes along, isn't there, and discovers it as if for the first time. And I felt like that with this beach, which is, of course, has been there for millennia, but new to me this week, Grallia Beach, not far along the coast from the tunnel that you're about to see. And I've got some pictures from this morning, which were superb when I was up there walking the dogs quite early on this morning. But here to open the show, which I called in, you can see for yourself that it's called the creativity in the community, or community creativity. There's so much work here tonight that's coming from you. Many of the things we didn't manage to have time to show during the week. Some things that we did show, but we want to show again. And a great celebration tonight of your creativity as a community. And as a different expression of that, I also want to bring you news of alternative living in Portugal, because we were going to start a directory here, and some were very keen on that idea. It's been done, which has saved me a job, and we may well speak to Si, who's the man behind it, a little bit later. He might phone in. He's out and about, but he might call in and tell us a little bit about it. But I've got enough information to share with you, and I can screen share it with you as well. If you want to have a look while all of this is going on, this evening. Let me just cut and paste that into. This is going to be of interest to those of you of an alternative leaning. Okay, look at that. Louisa, missing you this evening. So I'll send that to her in just a moment. This one then, alternativelivingportugal.net. Okay, if you want to sign up for that, I'm sure Si will be absolutely delighted if you do that. Alternativelivingportugal.net. For those spiritually, holistically, alternatively minded, it's right up my alley and sounds delicious. Is that the beach, or is that Alternative Living Portugal? Give it a go. Jeff, tell me what you think. Okay. Oh, okay. No, I think he's talking about Jeff. Jeff is talking about the sirloin steak, not any of the aforementioned that I suggested. Okay. Good evening to you. Andrew, Portuglish, by the way. Sounded like a good night on the man cave. I didn't tune in myself last night, but Garvo was a bit worse for wear today as a result, I think, and said you had a pretty good session last night. Tell us more. And Carlos is here, so I'm going to play one of your snowy videos. I'm doing great today. Thank you for asking. That's from Andy. Okay, so well done, everybody, chatting to each other as well. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Hanging out on a Saturday night for people who don't go out on a Saturday night anymore, but are still awake. What a great intersection that is. Okay, so here we go. Let's go through the tunnel, shall we? Woo! There you go. That is the tunnel at San Martino de Porto. And in celebrating the new beach that I found on the other side of the hill from me, Grallia Beach, just around the corner from that part of the Atlantic there that you saw at the end of the tunnel. Somebody said, yes, it's Grallia Beach. I grew up there. Love that. It's one of my favorite places on earth. A bit like the beach that used to be at the end of the tunnel and disappeared. So apparently there was a beach. Thunder. Oh, no, I think Thunder's asleep now. But if he watches this on replay, we were trying to figure out, what is this tunnel for? Is it a smuggler's tunnel? Because you could row into the bay. If you're a smuggler, you wouldn't need to use the tunnel, really. It wouldn't be much of an advantage. So apparently, turns out that there used to be a beach at the end of that tunnel. But it's now disappeared. It's been swallowed up by the sea. which I guess happens over the millennia, doesn't it? And things changing, geologically or climatically or whatever. So there used to be a beach there isn't anymore. And did you see that gentleman standing on the rocks? We were trying to figure out what he was up to as well. He had a plastic bottle with a piece of rope around its neck, and seemed to be scooping up samples of seawater. But it didn't look like professional equipment, and we were wondering what he was doing. We still haven't solved that mystery. What do you think? What do you think he was doing? So let's say a proper good evening to everybody. Now we're well and truly established for the evening. I feel like I've got my feet under the desk here. It feels like we're hanging out nicely on a Saturday night. It feels like we've set the scene. You know, we're going to talk about. We're going to share the creativity of the community. We're going to talk about Alternative Living Portugal, the new community site as well for those of a holistic, spiritual or alternative leaning. We've got pictures to come from Mark and Mary from Philomena, videos from Doug, a podcast, a great audio blog from Terrence. And yeah, hopefully Si will be on the phone to talk to us about alternative living as well. Okay, so let's have a look. Who's here tonight? Bon dia, Luis and Carl. Question: is the grass really greener over in Portugal? Not literally. Well, to answer that literally, the grass tends to be greener until it gets really hot. Then it goes quite brown, which you'll see in central Portugal. But the grass can be green and lush literally. But is it, Deagle is asking, is it actually metaphorically greener? Is it a better place to be? Now you're there for 4 or 5 years. And how has your health minds, what is that? If your health and state of mind perhaps improved since moving? Finally, homesickness ever affected you both? That's a great question, and I will answer it as a politician might say, but I would like others to address that as well. You know, you expats who are here, Pete's here, Andy's here. There are quite a few here who could answer that, aren't there? I will come back to that, definitely. I really like that question. And then if it does affect you, you know, what can you do about it? We're all about the solutions and the positivity on Feelgood Portugal. So great question. Well, let's see where that takes us. And I think Maxine rising to that. Home is where you hang your hat, methinks, but maybe I am wrong, methinks. Take it from a professional expat with 60 years under her belt. That's stretching due to good life and food. Sounds like you need to be part of our growing old disgracefully group if you fancy a bit of physical fitness there, Maxine. I'm really having a great time with it. And I did say I might do it live on air because I was going to give my colleagues on the course on our what do I call it, beta version of Growing Old Disgracefully, a bit of a report today, because we've been doing it for a few weeks now, and it's definitely, I look like an Adonis, even if I say so myself. And you go on to say, Maxine, oh, this beautiful couple, sweet dreams for me, bless you. And Evening Munsons, which we're going to take from the plural into the singular, I'm afraid. But we'll send messages on. Knock, knock. Who's there? Is this the Munson channel? I don't know. Is this the Munson channel? I can't think of a punchline for that at the moment. Others will, I'm sure, though. Prompt as per usual. Was that a bit of sarcasm there, Portugal? I was only probably 1 or 2 minutes late, for heaven's sakes. And it's Saturday night. We're taking it easy. We're kicking back, chewing the fat, shooting the breeze. Botar, boa noite. I'll go with the boa noite, and you're with the botar, I suspect. Gene, how are you this evening? Hope all is well with you and your packing's going well. Jeff with the boa noite, Luis y Carl. And yeah, no static at the time at 3. 3 minutes past 10. Please don't think it's 10 past. Well, it is probably pretty much. No, it's not. It's not 10 past 3 anywhere at the moment, is it? It can't be. But that was 3 minutes past 10 is what I meant to say. And Suzanne, good evening to you. Probably not joining me tonight, but we can make contact. Oh, Si is calling. Can you hear that, everybody? We should answer that and find out more about alternative living. And let's just pick up the receiver. He's live through to the Feelgood Portugal show. There should be Si on the other end of the line there. Is that you, Si? Are you there?
It certainly is me, yes.
Superb. Great to hear from you. And I did say to everybody who's listening now, you are live on the Feelgood Portugal show. What? Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah. You are the man.
That's absolutely fine.
Oh, good. I think we've got a little bit of a delay, so I'll talk a bit slower and give you longer spaces to answer. But you're the man behind the Alternative Living Portugal community website. Tell us more about it, if you will, and I'll share it on the screen here.
Well, basically, as has happened to many people, I got a bit of a Facebook ban for some unknown reason. I have absolutely no idea. The local football team from where I live, and I appealed the ban, and that triggered me getting kicked off Facebook. So I was looking for alternatives, something so that I could network with, people that were either local to me or, living a similar lifestyle to me in Portugal. And I really struggled to find other things. So I came up with the idea of maybe, setting something up.
And you have, which is fantastic.
And I have, yeah.
So you were saying it's living a similar sort of lifestyle to you. How would you describe that? Obviously, alternative is a key word here, but how would you characterize your way of life here in Portugal? And what brought you here to do that?
Well, personally, I live off grid, right. Which is I have no mains, anything, and provide my own. Oh, the sun provides my power.
Nice one.
I have a small river that runs across the bottom of our land, so it's rural Portugal. It's quite isolated. So Facebook was one of my, I wasn't a huge user, but there was groups that I could go to and have those sort of conversations with people who were like-minded, I suppose. So yeah, and when that went, it was where do we go from there? And I did look, and there are other social media networks, but they're very American centric. So it wasn't. I didn't really think it was suitable for me. So yeah, I sort of looked at. I've got a bit of history with internet things, so I thought, is it could do, and various platforms that were available to use. I picked one and sort of went with it. It was I have done similar things before, as I've told you in the with I was in the fire service. So I had a bit of history, but it was the thing is, this will it will fail or succeed for exactly the same reason that it's not Facebook. And only time will tell.
No, I understand that. I mean, you have differentiated yourself from Facebook here, haven't you? You're ad free. There's no data mining. I mean, people will be really glad about that. This is how Facebook should be, isn't it? He's like,
yeah, and that's, you see, I after I received my ban, I did try to register, and it's virtually impossible because they mine that much of your data. They immediately know that you're the same person.
Oh my goodness!
So I had created a new account, and within 15 minutes, it was booted off.
Wow!
Because they match your contacts up. So.
Well, taking you back to that to the statement you made, which I think is fascinating, and I can really appreciate and understand it. You say, it's not Facebook, and that's the problem. They've got a massive head start. Everyone's there, so it's very convenient, isn't it? And this is going to take some work. If this is going to happen, which I hope it will, I sincerely hope it will happen, because I think we do need alternatives. No pun intended. But people have got to make an effort with this, haven't they? They've got to create this community, because it's not going to be done for them, right?
No, it's not. It's not. It's a job of work to get it out there. But it's. I mean, we have. There's. I mean, it's been up for a couple of weeks, and I've just been testing it, to make sure that I understood fully how things worked, and then it's has sort of in the last few days gone out there and sort of been fail it instantly. There's around 50 people that have registered. The thing is, it's great having people register. It's people using it that will be that's going to be the key.
Yes.
And yeah, time will tell. People will. And in the thing that I sent you, all I can do is sort of create the site. I can't make it a community. I can't, solely put the content on there. It's going to be down to members of the community to do that.
All right. So here's an appeal to people to do that. What sort of people are you looking for, Si?
It's a really wide ranging. I come from. I've lived in a van and travelled about, so I could see that it would be of interest to them. But widen it out. It's people who are living off grid, people, really anyone with. It's really for anyone that's living something different in Portugal, which could be absolutely anything. You know what I mean? I think it's. I'm not. I certainly don't want to narrow it down to only people who live off grid, or only people who want to homeschool, or only people who want to live the van life. Or it will evolve, and it will be what it is. The people who use it will make it what it is.
Yes. Yeah. And all of the above are obviously welcome, but they're not the ones defining the site. I guess it's people, generally speaking, who might be more interested in less of a sort of mainstream narrative, if you like, the sort of which you would find on Facebook.
Certainly, look, by no means a conspiracy theorist, or I'm not out there. I'm a pretty normal guy. I've just got a different lifestyle to most, and I suppose it took me that getting kicked off Facebook to take a step back and go, I was just a commodity on there. The things that I was putting on there just meant that I had those ads targets at me.
Yeah.
And it's something that, if I can facilitate, something similar to that doesn't have that, then that would make me more than happy.
Brilliant. Okay, so available now on an internet near you, alternativelivingportugal.net. Is the link to go to. Deagle was asking about that. Please register. Go and have a look. See what you think for yourself. And as Si is saying there, this won't all be done for you. For this to work, it needs people to get involved and to get busy and to get active and build the community for themselves. And that's why this will be our product, won't it? Rather than us being the product, which I think is a differentiator between this and Facebook. You are the product on Facebook, aren't you? Whereas you can create the service here for yourselves, among ourselves, at Alternative Living Portugal.
That's exactly the idea.
Superb. Okay. Anything we've missed, Si? Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. I'm just happy that you give it a mention, and hopefully it will grow and it will be a success. But time will tell.
Time will indeed tell. Time will tell. I think, Jackie Grant, also known AKA Jacqueline CDM, is here. I think she'll join up. And Simon Wright already saying on the screen. You can't see it, Si, but your namesake Simon Wright, I think in the UK still at the moment. Great concept. I will join up, pal. So you've got somebody there who's already signing up. So hopefully we've got a few more extra people for you tonight. I look forward to seeing you on there. All the best to you. Have a great weekend.
Okay, cheers. Thank you very much, Cal.
Cheers. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye for now. See you.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.
Ciao for now. Bonne nuit to Si there, who's the man behind this. What you can see on your screen at the moment, Alternative Living Portugal, alternative online community. So you don't have to be a van lifer. You don't have to be a homeschooler. You can be, but the idea is that this is something that's going to be co-created by those people there, rather than them being the product, which tends to be the business model of the of social media thus far. Okay, let's see how that shapes up, and you can see my numbers on the screen there. If you want to call me like Simon did, 913-590-303. Lots of lovely messages to go through, but I think what I'm going to do now is share with you. This is the man behind our next feature that we will share with you this evening. This is Terrence Austin, everybody. What a chap. What a lovey. Excuse me. He's just a mere mention of him, and thinking of some of the laughs we had. Actually, I've lost his website. I need to find it again. We're having such a laugh earlier on today. The mere thought of him causes me to giggle a little bit, and I'm going to share with you his website now, and I'm going to scroll through it as you hear his words and his reading. So get yourself sat down and in a position where you can listen to this a little bit like when you're at school and you're or listening with mother or listening with teacher. The pictures are going to be his website. The words are going to be his own, read by him. So let's hear it now. If you need me to turn it up or down, just let me know in the comments. Okay, so here we go.
Olives are not the only fruit. A story of a 59-year-old virgin olive picker. Do you know olives are the earliest crop known to be cultivated by humans? I confess this beguiling factoid until recently had escaped me. The reason I find myself mulling information like this over in my mind is in part due to my brother, or rather my brother's sense of community spirit. Today, at his request, we are helping out a new friend with some olive picking. Therefore, my thinking is disproportionately invaded by the humble olive. I have been seconded along with my wife, daughter, son, and a few friends to help out Chrissy, our newly acquainted neighbour. She has nearly 100 burgeoning trees, heavy with the fruit. Alas, not so many pairs of hands to help pick them. Unfortunately, Chrissy lost her partner not so long ago to cancer, so she needs some help and assistance. So here I am, a virgin to olive picking. Very used to consuming olives, but not experienced with the producing end of the supply chain. However, to my annoyance, while I should be focused on my duties today, knowledge about olives keeps leaking into my brain. I think this is because I spent some time mugging up on the subject in preparation for today. Just like that nagging tune that constantly replays over in your head, there's a constant internal irritating olive-themed dialogue interfering with my work. Chrissy lives in central Portugal, not far from the pretty town of Alviasra. The municipality, along with many other things, is bursting with olive groves. So it could be claimed that wherever you stand in the area, throw a stone and you'll hit an olive tree somewhere. Did you know olives have been harvested by humans for at least 6,000 years? I contemplate. I hope it doesn't take us that long to complete Chrissy's 100 trees. I'm not being a complete whinger here, but we've been at this picking lark now for about 2 hours, and we've chopped, shook, and rasped the olives from a miserly 2 trees. Olives originated from the Turkey-Syria end of the world, and they come from an essentially Mediterranean tree, which flourishes in the basking warmth of summers and more gentler winters. By now, I've discovered that the job of picking olives isn't so bad. In truth, I wasn't looking forward to this day because of work commitments and a general lethargic state brought about by not enough sleep. But things are looking up, so I grab me a vacant chair and sit down with some ladies. After surveying the dexterous women individually picking the fruit one by one, I may have come up with a cunning plan. It has struck me to hold large branches over a bucket. This allows me to strip stems with great rapidity as the olives tend to fall conveniently inside the container. The competitor in me surfaces for about 10 minutes. I focus solely on stripping, and this lasts until my hands redden and start to become a little torn by the effort. My mitts tell me to go and find some gloves. This I do, and then I embark on an even longer spell of competition. This is because the gloves have given me iron hands encased in attractive orange neoprene. I wondered if the ladies might like factoids. Here's one. In the wider world, pressing and curing olives at home is a rapidly diminishing art. I wonder if they know that adventurous foodies can find growing and harvesting olives a richly rewarding pastime. I deliberated on this momentarily and decided to keep this gem to myself, as they probably have become a bit sick of my competitive rasping. As the day drifts by, every now and then Chrissy disappears with our buckets filled with fresh picked olives. I find out the reason for her absence, and it's valid. She's taken the olives to a local cooperative where they squeeze them in a press and note how much weight on the produce she has delivered and how much oil has been accrued. So, her olives are for oil and not for the plate. I stop for a while and marvel at the olives with their greens and intense aubergine black hues in the palm of my orange gloved hand. This reminds me of another throwaway fact. Olives, unlike many other fruits, come in a mix of colours which are dependent on the ripeness of the fruit, not the variety. Olives are not the only fruit. As I gaze at these jewels, I can't help thinking that some of these olives would make splendid projectiles. I seem to prefer the greener variety, and the mischievous 8-year-old part of me then prevails. Somewhere, a deeply rooted child voice orders me to throw a couple of olives in the direction of Jenny. An exuberant, likable German lady is now in my crosshairs. I've noticed her incredible ability for hard work and boundless loud chatting. I don't need more than one attempt. She flinches as the sharp pain flashes between her shoulders, and my job is done. She looks around and is convinced my brother, Gary, aka the Great Garvo, is the culprit. I bury my head, hide my smiles, and carry on fraudulently with my rapid rasping. Good God, did you know olives are easily bruised? I chastise myself. If people are going to be consuming them, they need to be handled with care. I hope Jenny's spine did not deform that olive. I reprimand myself further and recall that handpicking is essential, as damaged fruit will not be accepted. I also take time out to remind myself that olives can be harvested from September to December. They tend to be greener earlier on and then begin to turn black by about December. When they are in their darkest state, olives have the highest oil yield. Good job I threw a hard green olive at Jenny and it wouldn't have been full of oil. What a mess this would have made of her vest, and what level of explaining would Garvo have had to do? I congratulate myself. I had the presence of mind to go green. I love the emerald green capture netting which surround the abundant trees. All across Portugal, people use these for collecting fallen olives. It's a splendid sight to see hundreds of grounded olives nestled beneath the trees. Until recently, though, I didn't realize that it's a regular practice to prune the trees back and strip the branches of fruit on the ground. I always imagined somehow that olives were shaken to the floor and caught in nets. I tried to shake some branches instead of rasping for a while. A few fruits obligingly drop, but I can understand why I see so many mechanized olive picking implements around. For all my silverback gorilla inspired branch thrashing, the rewards are few. Full credit should be given to field workers, formerly known as rancherish, who harvest this fruit yearly. They spend days and weeks in this occupation, which is hard on the body, not least because the Portuguese sun can still bake heads even in late October. I feel my brain has cooked more than I would like to admit this afternoon. But looking back, as we start to pack away our tools and limp in the direction of the cars, I feel glad I have experienced this day. It has brought me closer to people in my community and given me an insight into the agricultural life of the inhabitants of central Portugal. All in all, I've had a lot of fun and helped someone out who has not had the best of luck in recent times. I feel useful, satisfied, and bloody sore.
Bloody sore. I'm sorry for giggling throughout there, but I think that's lovely. I think Gemini agrees with me as well. Thank you. That's wonderful, says Gemini. We need to hear more of this. And isn't it a lovely blend of Portuguese information, information about the Portuguese lifestyle, bit of humor, some good documentary fact in there, and some nice human stuff as well. They're helping somebody out who has had a bad time and a bereavement. So much in that. I think it's 9 minutes there. If you want to hear that again, if you want to share it with somebody else, it's on YouTube. And that's in the comments now if you want to cut and paste that or share it with somebody. And Rugby Connor from last week. This is, do you remember, Luis? I thought you were called Rugby Connor, the Frenchman. I could listen to his voice all night. And I would like to take some credit for saying to Terrence, when I read the blog, I started reading the blog and I was thinking to myself, he should read this. It should be a podcast. And I'm not sure he agreed at first. I said, yeah, do it, read it. Because I love his voice as well, like you, Colin. And I could listen to it all night. And I know him a little bit. And he's a very funny, amusing chap, as his brother Garvo. And his voice is one of those voices that's about to laugh or he's thinking something funny. And you can almost hear that in there. And it's that lovely brummy fruitiness going on. There's a bit Thespy brummy hybrid going on there, which I really like. And you too, Gemini, right? I really love it. Me too. So let's encourage him to do some more. And I mean, it's not just that, is it? I mean, did you see those illustrations and photographs and paintings of his as well? What a Renaissance man, and very nice, says Nubianet. So if you want to check out the website as well of terrenceaustinartist.com, that is the website, terrenceaustinartist.com. And I'll make sure you've got that in the comments as well. So there you go. terrenceaustinartist.com. And yes, says Nubianet, his voice is very nice to listen to. I think so. And let's encourage him to do more. And I will listen to it again, says Gemini. Hear him loud and clear. Great story, says Suzanne. Oh, I'm glad you're many of you are responding in much the same way I did. And really enjoying Terrence's rendition of his own blog, his own words, of course, there that he voiced there, not somebody else's. I mean, and that could be a book, couldn't it? It's quite like, who's the guy? Bill, what's his name? The travel writer. I think there's the same sort of whimsical and humorous touches in there. And Terrence could certainly blog about his life and podcast about his life here in Portugal. And let's have him on the show more often. We did. I mean, the time we did speak to him actually was when he came on to tell us about taking property photographs. He really is a talented fella. And I see as well, looking at his paintings and illustrations and photography pages here, he has equine works and other animals. So let's have a quick look at his equine works, because that's going to take us to Golgar, of course, isn't it? Where Philomena's been today. And we can share a few of Philomena's videos and photos as well. So here are Terrence's. I mean, he's a talented bloke he is. He's quite extraordinary. He can write, he's got a brilliant voice, and he can act, can't he? Or tell a story for sure. And he painted these as well, folks. Look at them. Quite incredible. Horsepower, flying horse, charitable horses. The question, I like the story here. Every year, usually in the June sun, this is the picture you'll see. Oh, let's blow it up and have a look at it. Oh, I think we're going to get the full big picture here. This is good, isn't it? But I'm going to lose my words. But there's his work. There's his work. Let's go back to find out what the backstory is on this particular painting called the what's it called? Oh no, you didn't. I saw a blow up of it. You didn't. You're still seeing the multiple selection here: beach canter, sleeping dog, and some of the animal pictures here. Look at that salamander 1, salamander 2. What a talented guy. But the question here, every year, usually in the June sun, all things equestrian come to the local major town of Caldas. Horse jumping, shows and stalls with all sorts of riding paraphernalia proliferate. Big thing in Portugal, the horse thing, not just Golgan, which we'll go to in just a moment. It really is a fine opportunity to study the Lusitano breed of horse at close quarters. You'll be seeing some of those in just a moment. I adore the Portuguese riding costumery, and I took the chance to take a couple of snaps of these ladies to form a painting in acrylic on canvas. I felt as if I were painting a Manet or Renoir. Absolutely right. Very beautifully done. And I quite agree with Terrence. The outfits, the equestrian outfits are very, very beautiful indeed. So top man, Terrence, thank you so much for sharing so many of your skills here on the show this evening. Looking forward to more. Rugby Colin, am I right that Gary's brother does house removals in the Silver Coast? He might do. I don't think he does at the moment. I don't think that's his thing. But I'll ask him next time I see him if he's a Renaissance man. He's pretty good in a fist fight, I hear. It looks like, and a sword fighter as well, a fencer. It looks like a voice telling a fairy tale there. Thank you, Laura P, for that. And Maxine agreeing as well. Terrence has a very poetic, soporific voice. Loved it. Great use there, Maxine. Okay, so let's catch up with your comments before we go to Golgan and Philomena's lovely pickies and videos that she's been sending in nearly up to the first hour. Where does the time go? Quite incredible how time flies when you're having fun. I am. I hope you are too. Do let me know what you've been up to this weekend, what you might be doing tomorrow. Whether as an expat you got homesick, as Deagle was asking before, and how you deal with it. Okay, crisp and clear. Thanks, Simon, for that. How are you this evening? And Paul Williams, listening in our Lisbon hotel prior to our flight to Madeira tomorrow. Talking to somebody about Madeira who's fallen in love with Madeira, is likely to be moving there earlier on this evening. Tell us more, Paul. Definitely we'll go to Golgan next year. Need a meetup there. We do, don't we? Be amazing if we did that, if a number of us went. Hi, mate, and Margarita, you'll have had your tea, as Hamish and Dougal, obscure Radio 4 references aside. And yes, the Austins are all awesome. So talking of Andy and Margarita, let's bring up a picture of those two that's been sent in this evening. Thank you very much. Here's the tash that you can see. I mean, if anyone's wondering why on earth have you not shaved, Carl, it is the Movember thing. That I've been inspired to do by Francis in South Africa, and Andy's jumped on it as well. Not on my tash, I'm glad to say, but this is the progress over there in Lisbon. Quite a nice set. That's looking a little bit King Charles, isn't it? And you got fine eyebrows as well, Andy. You're growing them too in a particular way. And what do you do? Do you put like manure on or some sort of mix to? I need something, whatever it is you're putting on your eyebrows and moustache, mate. I need some from me bonds, and also from you both tonight. So good evening to you both. This is a close-up of said tash now, going well. Sorry for any tashophobes. For anyone who struggles, let me just have a look from this side. Yeah, not too bad. Anyone who struggles with this sort of thing, it will pass quite soon. I've also got a picture of your lovely dog, your Great Dane. Let me just go back to that, because it wouldn't be fair to share those two pictures without showing a picture of Alpha. And here we go. And another really nice reason for sharing this, of course, is the autumnal blue sky in Lisbon that comes free with this picture of Alpha the Great Dane. Any pet pics you want me to show tonight, glad to do so while we're here this evening. And whilst we catch up with people's pickies from the week and the videos from the week. Look at that. Autumnal tree in the background and Alpha the Great Dane in the foreground. Superb. You look like you've been out for a nice walk today in the crisp autumnal Lisbon air. Okay, back to the comments then. And yeah, cheers for that, Andy. And nice. The tash is going very nicely. Am I right? Oh, so that was Gary's brother, Terrence. Does he do removal? Really don't think so. Dinner tonight, courtesy of the Brasserie in Parc de Nassau. Ah, yes, I recognise that tree. Then it's lovely, isn't it? Walking along the river there. Are you quite close to that then, where you live, the Parc de Nassau? Fabulous, fabulous part of Lisbon that is, and a great time of year to be wandering about. P.S. Expat does not necessarily mean that I am British. No worries there, Maxine. We use the term universally, and we use it with some caution and trepidation because there's always, the expat slash immigrant debate. Touchiness is never far away from us. It's just expats Portugal sounds so much better than immigrants Portugal. But we certainly don't assume that all expats are British. I have been living in expat bubbles of varying nationalities since I was 16, says Maxine. Well, sounds like you could do a podcast and a biography as well. Hey, Louisa, do it away from Square Eyes. Yeah, she's sort of knee deep in kids and won't be joining us tonight. Let's see how we get on for next week. Jeff, it was a sirloin steak, a great sirloin with a unique herb sauce. Unique herb? What is that? Is that some cannabis or something on your steak there? Unique herb? I wonder what that is. I haven't heard of the cannabis being referred to as the unique herb. I presume you didn't have that. Very nice, Andrew. Can't be a great steak. Sometimes you have to. Have some Brazilian beef in the fridge, waiting to go on the grill, says Square Eyes. Good evening to you, Square Eyes. How are you? That's what Jeff was salivating about, wasn't it, earlier on? And Carlos is here. Actually, let's do that then. Let's find the snow video from North Dakota now. Let's work through these and make the correct connections this evening. We got a snow video. Thank you to Carlos and a family out and about walking in it, which is a really funny part of this. But if you think you're cold in Portugal, Carlos has this reminder for you to just shut up because there are parts of the world where it is very cold at the moment, cold enough for snow, as it is here in Carlos's neighborhood. Here we go. Nice contrast with the video. Thank you for that, Carlos. With the comment on the screen now. 3 times this week on Channel 4 TV in UK, Channel 4 TV in the UK. Place in the Sun has been in the Algarve. Gives you a wee insight into house costs, etc. Shows bring couples thinking of buying a property with a set budget. Yeah, and how has it been? Have they been satisfied there? I suspect they have, haven't they? But what an incredible contrast between the Algarve there and North Dakota, and that snow, and that wonderful family out for a walk in the snow. Never did me any harm. The Brasserie, here's a little tip for you, cuisine-wise, in Lisbon, in the Park of Nations. Brasserie is one of the best eateries in Parc de Nassau. Thank you for that. And Old Ravers, yeah, these are people, this is our niche, isn't it, tonight? People who are still up at 10 and still awake after 10 as well. Well done, everybody, if that's indeed, if you still are. Great video, Cole. That was for Thunders earlier on, wasn't it? The San Martino tunnel video. Very, very good. Stunning video with great background music. The background music was written by Thunder's uncle, would you believe? And Thunder Duck recorded that in his own studio. So we'll come back to that. And I think fantastic is the review for that. Louis, we're missing you tonight. All right. I'll pass that on. Looked to me like he was fishing. Maybe he was. It was a very primitive fishing setup, I have to say. I think he was taking a sample, but as Thunder said at the time, it didn't, he's been a marine biologist or something sometime in his life. And the kit didn't look very professional. It really was an old bit of string out of the drawer and a plastic bottle from the recycling. I honestly don't know what he was up to. I've been through that same baptism of fire, walking through that tunnel, coming out to something truly amazing. The word wow just dropped from my lips. Thanks, Carl. Yep, happy memories there, Chris. And Nubianet, hello everyone. Hey there, Andy. I listened to a lot of yesterday's show, but work is a bit too hectic to participate, even to watch. And a very nice little sailing boat. Would love it there in San Martino de Porto. Well, I hope to see you here at some point. And let's see. That is so cool. I think you should start writing a date on the board and counting down. Andy, not quite sure what that's about. Gary's here. Hey up, Gary. So good to see you earlier on. I didn't bump into that lady again, and I did apologise to our mate Boas as well, because I've got a mate who's come over from Norway, originally Danish, and he was coming along along the seafront. And I was sat with Garvo Austin and Terrence Austin earlier on. And I said, I'm going to introduce you to Boaz, but do your thickest Brummie accents when you speak to him, and we'll have a bit of a laugh. And I apologized to Boaz later because I was getting a bit giddy hanging them out with the amazing Austin brothers. But it was fantastic. You're right, mate. And I think Boaz actually said, what language is this? I said, it's Brummie, mate. Home is where my cats are. Okay, on the subject of homesickness, home is where my cats are. And what is the link to Alternative Living Portugal? So who's signed up? Who's signed up for that? So the link for that Alternative Living Portugal is, let me just refresh my page and I'll be able to tell you. And it's alternativelivingportugal.net for that. Okay, who's signed up? Let me know. Si will be delighted if a few of you do, I'm sure. Michael Whitby. Hi, Carla Noisa. Car show was a bit of a dud, but still a great day in Caldash and Peniche. Oh, okay. So not so great then at the classic car show. Interesting. And Jackie Grant, Jacqueline CDM. How are you this evening? And Simon says he was going to join Si there. And Laura P, this came in while we were talking to Simon. I have been traveling all over the world. Apart from Japan, Portugal is the only country I like and choose. Safe, clean. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same about Italy. So I do not miss Italy, she says. Laura P. My goodness. Okay. Not a very good review for Italy tonight. And Anne P. Julien is here. Hello, Anne. How are you? Good night to you as well. And Cindy B. How lovely. I think. I love your picture there, Cindy B. That's beautiful. That's an autumnal abundance, isn't it? A harvest festival picture there. Looks like me when I've been down the market like I was this morning in San Martino de Porto. Great to have you here, Cindy. And looking forward to seeing more of you here as well, of course. And yeah, nice reviews in for Terrence. If you missed that earlier on, TerrenceAustinArtist.com. That's for his visual work, for his sonic work. That I have the YouTube as well. YouTube channel is also in the comments there. So check him out and subscribe, and you'll get. I think it's a good chance now that he will do more podcasts of that kind and write more for us. Good old hairy Scottish jeans. I can't place that comment, but we're very open-minded here, and whatever floats your boat. Who was that couple? Was that in a video as well? Who was that couple? Was that in a video? I can't. I think we've done quite a lot tonight, and I can't place which couple you might be talking about. We've mixed it up quite a lot already tonight, haven't we? Nubianet says, I'll have a naughty afternoon, evening. A friend is in town to see Elvis Costello. Wow. And a group of us are doing a brewery crawl. Have a great afternoon, evening, Nubianet. That sounds great. Elvis Costello, I'm sure, is still really great. Which was the first Elvis Costello track you had? Mine was a 7-inch of New Amsterdam. Gary Garvo's here. Andy, we need to have you on live to tell your story about your journey and how you ended up bearing the Man Cave standard, please. Yes, great idea, Gary. I'll tell you what. Oh, secret recipe. That's the unique herb sauce, isn't it? Maybe did it have good old hairy Scottish jeans in the sauce? I'll pass on that if that is the case. But Gary's right. We do need to talk to you. Are you free a week on Thursday at 9 o'clock in the morning when we can talk about you and your journey, Andy, on our moving to Portugal Thursday? Let me know, mate. It'd be great to have you here because you have had quite a journey one way or another, haven't you? And all the driving license shenanigans and stuff. All countries call us expats. Gemini, is that about Brits? Unfortunately, although my brother is multi-talented, but house removals is not on his playlist. Okay, so we've managed to settle that. Not a house mover as well. Kipatoy! That is exactly how it was when we met Boas earlier on today. Kipatoy, anyone? I signed up to Alternative Living Portugal. Well done, Deagle. And the eyebrows. Oh, there we go. That's the mystery solved. Good old hairy Scottish jeans. It's like the sort of thing you could buy on the internet, isn't it? I'm going to buy myself some good old hairy Scottish jeans. Levi's this season. Good old hairy Scottish jeans. Maybe. I signed up to. Cheers, Jeff. Appreciate that. Great help for Si and Oregonians living in Portugal, all loving Portugal. Hi, Colin Lewis. I hope you're having a great week. Been in northern Montana, beg your pardon, for a couple of weeks, getting some work done in our second home and closing up for the winter. Thankfully, no snow, as you saw there. Okay, so there could be cannabis in that unique herb sauce by the sound of it. Right, let's have a look at some of Philomena's pics that have come in. And I think I might just do these. She sends me so many, and I'm not complaining. I'm really not. We're going now to the 450th year of the Feira de San Martino. 1571 it dates back to. Obviously, if you're good at maths and you've taken 450 away from 2021, that's what you're going to get. Golgari is where we're going to go. And I'm going to, I think what I'll do is just share my WhatsApp with, hold on a minute, Portuguese steak. Oh, that needs to be shown. Thanks for that, Deagle. Portuguese steak with sardine pate, olives, and bread in Belfast. Yep, okay, we'll be showing that in a little while. But Philomena, there's all sorts here. Videos, you'll hear a bit of video. All right, this is gonna be a little bit challenging. You might have to squeeze in a little bit towards your monitor, but it's going to be the easiest way for me to share this with this absolute wealth of material that Philomena has sent with me. So I'll do a screen share instead of loading all of these up one by one, because that's how it tends to work. And I'm going to put the WhatsApp window on now, and I hope you can. Let me just see let me make sure you are seeing what I'm seeing here. Here we go, and there we go. It's going to be a little bit small, I know, especially if you're watching on a phone, but you'll get the gist of this. And you know how it is on WhatsApp. You see the whole kind of reel beneath. You'll get a little taster of what's to come if you look beneath at the bottom of the screen there. And I'm not giving her phone number away, am I, by doing this? No, that's good. You can't be doing that, Carl. Okay, so let's go there now. Let's play this video, shall we? And I can talk over this as well, I think. Easy. Music's banging. Oh, little horse. Giddy up. What's going on here? Look at that horse's feet. What? Bizarre. I can do that, actually. So there you go. That's quite an interesting little, what is that called? Dressage, is it? That way that horse was walking, flicking its heels out. I could do that on a good day as well. So let's have a flick through these pictures. Oh, look at those kids there on that horse. Isn't that very beautiful? Isn't it amazing as well when kids that young can ride? All dressed up as well. Nice hat, sir. Young man. That's beautiful. And let's skip through these, shall we? Look at that. We're looking at some Lusitanos here, aren't we? And they've had their hair done especially at the salon all on Friday afternoon, getting to look all lovely like that for the Golgar horse fair, San Martino Feira. And look at that. That's a great picture, isn't it? I was going to show you that earlier on and say, guess where Philomena's been? But we got so many pictures to show. Let's just go through them here. And a little bit more dressage and horse showing. I don't know. That's probably not the right word for it, is it? But that's what it looks like. And that's what I'm going to say right now. And look, these are the outfits as well that Terrence was referencing earlier on. That woman looks fantastic, doesn't she? All pinched in at the waist and a great big cape and a lovely hat. Fabulous. And another video. It's amazing how the horses are coping with the music as well and coming across the PA. Isn't it amazing? Doesn't it make you just want to get your tweeds on? Or an outfit like this, a nice red waistcoat and some tight blue trousers and some socks that look like your grandma kind of made them out of lace for you. And one of those excellent hats. That's like those bullfighter guys seem to wear those sorts of hats, don't they? A kind of jester's hat. But that's a very fetching outfit. I wouldn't mind being seen in that, actually. And maybe we should all go out like that. Here's Philomena, everybody. Philomena at the horse fair with a huge Lusitano horse there. Superb. Thank you very much, Philomena. If you are tuned in and you're looking at these, thank you so much for sending these to me. Why do horses do that sometimes? Why do horses just stare at a wall? Now, I know we all feel like doing that sometimes, don't we? And not many of us probably do, but horses don't seem to mind doing funny things like that. I'm not a horse person. It's not that I dislike them. I got bitten by one once on the inner arm, and boy, did it hurt. But I have been horse riding as a kid, but never really hit it off in the way that some people do. Some fantastic architecture here and a bust, nice bust. Look at this. This is a fantastic house in Golgar. Lovely town, well worth a visit. Stick it on your list, folks. It is well worth visiting. Look at that beautiful conservatory there. Superb, Philomena. Thank you so much for sharing these with us. Golgar architecture. Another video coming up, I think. What's this? Feels like Christmas already. Quite a lot of Sagres sponsorship there. I feel thirsty for some reason. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And let's go for a few more stills here. And there must be this track here where everyone seems to arrive and come in on this track, maybe before they go into the arena there. Beautiful. So for any kind of horsey people, they absolutely love this, aren't they? Fantastic. Just, yeah, wherever you go in Golgar, with a lot of cobbles there, you're going to hear the clatter of oh, that's my song from yesterday. So there you go. Just let's go for one more video, shall we? Let's have a quick look at what she sent us video-wise. I'm going to go with this one. Excellent stuff. Thank you so much, Philomena, for that. Really, really appreciate that. All those lovely pics there. What do you think? What did you make of that, Golgar? Is that going on your list? And I thought that music was a little bit incongruous. You know, a little bit of nothing wrong with that music, but just a little bit weird with. I'm wanting to hear, you know, Black Beauty. That sort of thing. But no. Anyway, Michael Bliss Music. Hello, Michael. Great show idea, celebrating community creativity. Oh, yes, love it. The show needs a theme song. Go on, mate. Oh, I'd be so honored if you would. And so while Michael is here, check out the music. We're talking about community creativity and celebrating it tonight. Please. Michael, do you like it when people share your music via Spotify, for which you get 0.00027 cents, if you're lucky, every 6 months? Please put your own website up if you want people to go direct to that. If not, I would be delighted to share your Spotify links for you and Cheryl's fantastic music. These guys are so supremely talented. Lot of talent in the room tonight. Michael Bliss Music. Michael Bliss, please, Michael, tell us the best way to share your music, will you, my friend? That could be wonderful. And we go to Andy again to see if he's up for joining us in a couple of Thursdays' time. Went to get my SNS number on Friday. The word was grève. Oh, on strike. Oh, was getting way too easy. And then another setback there for Andy. Kent's here as well. Hola, boa noite. Hello, Kent. I love again. What a talented chap you are. We had the big man bag discussion, and we still haven't really finished on that, have we? We could resolve it tonight. The big old man bag discussion, not big old man bags, but it was a big discussion. And you have designed a satchel, haven't you? Effectively, there, not the clutch bag style, really, but a manly man bag. What a talented fella you are as well. Andrew, you need to send me a CAD file to play with. Oh, I say. I'm not sure I should have read that out. My last memories of B&Q back in London are not good. I heard a B&Q joke before it came on air. Is there a B&Q in London? No, it's London. Better jokes are available on the internet, I suspect. My last memories of B&Q back in the UK are not good because one of the assistants asked me, here we go, this is a B&Q joke. A listener with material, as they say. Let me do this again to give Garvo's dad joke full justice here. My last memories of B&Q back in the UK, says Gary Austin, are not good because one of the assistants asked me if I wanted decking. So I got one in there first and knocked him out. But she's here all week, folks, twice on Saturdays. Laura P, for those who like horses, I remember that there is an important horse show in Ponta de Lima, northwest of Viana do Castelo. But I do remember, I don't remember, I think this might say, when it is this annual event. Okay, so, and yeah, we talked to Philomena about this, didn't we, on Friday? For those of you who could hear me when I was just... I think we've nailed it tonight. Sound quality is back as it should be. But Philomena agreed with me. I mean, I was saying to her, is this Portugal? Was it on Friday or was it on the Expats Portugal Plan gathering that we had on Thursday night? But anyway, finding out about things in Portugal, she agreed. She said Portuguese people are terrible at marketing things and announcing things and sharing things, events, And so we'll have to find out, and let's share it on our news slot, 8:30 till 9 every weekday morning. The Good Morning Portugal show is all about the news, weather, and expat update. And within that, we'll find out about things like this, Laura P, and we'll share that good news. Okay, that is another strange coincidence, Carl. We both swim like a bag of cement. This is the amazing Austin brothers, and although I love and admire horses, they have a habit of biting me. Yeah, I've only been nibbled once, and we were trying to get. I was going out with a woman who kept. She had 25 miniature ponies, and they were a pretty picture when they were sat on her lawn doing. I mean, you can. It's a pretty safe bet that at any given time, one of those miniature ponies was defecating on the lawn. That many horses it's gonna happen, isn't it? And they were amazing. They're quite cute, aren't they, miniature ponies? And she loved them, and she used to breed them. And she had a bigger horse, this pony that I was helping. I was in the same place when she was moving it from one place to another. I think from one grazing spot to another, and we had to try and get it in a horse box. And I was okay. I'll give this a go. I'll do some horse whispering here. And I went up to him, and was giving him a little stroke, and I thought we were getting on famously. And I think he did as well. And that's why he nibbled me, because I think it's a sign of affection from a horse. And he bit me on the inside of my arm, on my bicep. And flipping heck, it really smarted. It was really painful. Like, there was little pinches you get. And then she did the most amazing thing. She said, give me your jumper a minute. He wasn't going on the horse box. And we wrapped my jumper around his head so he couldn't see. And then she just pushed him onto the horse box, and away he was. So as soon as he was disorientated and couldn't see, he went on fine. And it was just one of those tricks that great, people who know how to handle horses could do. Lovely photos. Thank you, Gemini, for that. And yes, Gary, we share that, don't we? We both swim like bags of cement. But that's not going to stop me going paddleboarding. And I want to see you in your wetsuit, big boy, at some point. Bring talcum powder. And horses. We have a similar antipathy or awkwardness with horses. Lovely photo, says Gemini. Thanks for Philomena. I hope you get to. I hope you know that I've shared your pictures that you so diligently and thoughtfully sent to me. That was fantastic, Philomena. Fiona's like, wow, she loves horses. The culture is so integral with the community. That's true, isn't it? Very important part. Gary. Is that about us both getting bitten? Hi, Carl and Louise. A great time spent together today with the kids. Lovely idea about Owen's new batter slot. Seriously, Terrence, don't start, please. And apologies to your Norwegian friend Boas, who looked a bit shell-shocked. Not to mention the other lady who we met as well. I still feel a bit bad about that. And it's all well and good. You guys are miles away, and I'm going to have to face the music there at some point. Okay, did I share those Azores pictures with you? I don't think I did. And we've got a video from Dougie, because he was in Monchique, which came up as Minchinhampton. There's a challenge for the amazing Austin brothers. Please make a joke of Minchinhampton, or something like, have you been to Minchinhampton? And you know what the punchline is for that. Okay, yeah, Doug. So a video from Dougie. He was in Monchique, and we showed that video, didn't we, last week? And then he went up the hill to look over Monchique. So we've got that video, and he's got loads he's been sending us, which are fantastic. So we'll share that in just a minute, but not until we've been to the Azores. And look at this. I have to find a title for. Is it a helipad or something? There's a lighthouse going on at the end there. But let me find out directly from the horse's mouth. No offense, Mark. What he was telling me about this photograph as you savor it there. That is the evening's sunset out here in Fayal, which is one of the islands in the Azores there, of course. It's an amazing picture, isn't it? And then the next one I'm going to show you is Pico Island in the distance, up the mountainside from Horta a couple of days ago. And that is, I believe, eponymous, the Mount Pico as well, that you're going to see in this picture. I mean, that could be Japan, couldn't it? That's the Azores. That's Portugal's Azores there. Mount Pico, shrouded in cloud and shot from another island, looking across from Horta, I believe. That amazing scene there. And they're having a great time. They've got a Instagram channel, and I'll fish that out for you as well, so that you can have a look at all the wonderful pictures that they've been sharing since their oh, I've got it here. Actually, that's great. Yeah, since they sold up in Seattle and gone on the road, they've been documenting their journey, and what a picturesque journey it is too. So let me just put in their Insta, if you like Insta-ish things. Have you been pinching your Hampton? No, it's just the way I walk. Yeah, there you go. The Instagram for Mark and Mary is Leidelmeyer there, mw.Leidelmeyer. And Suzanne saying, thanks to Philomena, beautiful horses and a lovely occasion. And it sounds like it's not the only horse fair. It's probably the biggest, isn't it? And longest established and most notable in Portugal at Golgan. But it sounds like there's one up in the north there, as Laura P was telling us, up there in Ponta de Lima. Actually, I will ask Vitor, our friend Vitor, because if I can, I'll squeeze in a video from him as well that he sent me today. He was in a beautiful Miradouro viewing point overlooking Braga today, which is very impressive too. So I'll try and find that for you as well before we finish tonight. And Gary, my feel-good advice for today is stand barefoot on Portuguese ground and let it seep into your soul and your heart. It will be the beginning of a lifelong love affair. I promise. Very nice. Japan, underestimated for its beauty. I like Japan, says Square Eyes. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, where was I going to go next? I was going to go to Minchinhampton, also known as Monchique here in Portugal. This is Dougie. He was in downtown Monchique. Actually, I think I need to show you James's video of Ericeira as well. This is remarkable. This is coming up a bit later on. Okay, but here's Dougie's video going up the hill to overlook Monchique right here, right now.
Well, we're nearly at the top of Monchique. From the town, it's about, I don't know, if you're taking it nice and genteel, maybe a 10 or 15 minute drive. And what you've got at the top here is, well, apart from the views, which are spectacular, and I've only got my mobile phone camera to take these pictures, so don't expect miracles really. Anyway, here we are, nearly at the top. Yeah, I'm afraid it's time to coin the C word, cloud. I might be able to show you a little bit later on that the Algarve itself is pretty much devoid of it, but right up here there is definitely cloud, and the temperature has dropped to an embarrassing 17 degrees. And embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Well, one thing you can be guaranteed of around here, you'll have a mobile phone signal regardless with which server you're with, whether it's Vodafone or whichever one of the rest. And well, so basically this place is absolutely festooned with that's a guy riding a statue of a guy riding a bike, which is the fit way of getting up to the top of Serra de Monchique, of course.
There you go. We're at the top of Monchique there with Doug, and that journey will continue. Dougie's in the country. He's making these fantastic videos, and we'll have another one for you on Monday. Superb. You are watching the Feelgood Portugal show on a Saturday night, sometimes with added glamour in the shape of Mrs. Munson, Louisa, Mrs. M, and hopefully she'll be back with us next Saturday night. Any messages you've got for her, I will gladly pass on. You'll have to make do with me for now. Thank you for that, Terrence. And look, Consume Honey is here. Hey, Rebecca here. Greetings from Puerto Rico. Hello, Rebecca. Tell us more about Consume Honey, if you will. And so more photos in. This is a picture that was sent to me of a nighttime Albufeira, which I think I neglected. And I feel bad about this. When people take the trouble to think of us and send us pictures and I forget to show them, I do feel bad. So and it's not from any ill will whatsoever, I can assure you. It's just sheer volume of loveliness and contributions coming into the show. And I did think I overlooked this one. This is Albufeira, and that's looking a bit C-wordy there, isn't it? A bit cloudy. And this is, I think it is Laura. And I was reminded because on Monday, I'm going to share with you news of an invitation for an Italian dinner with music. And she says, I don't know if some of your folks in Algarve might be interested. So we'll share news of that on Monday. I think it's time as well to show a picture of a Portuguese steak, isn't it, from Deagle, from Belfast. And I think made by Mrs. Deagle. What do you call them? The Home Affairs Minister, I think. Look at that. A Portuguese steak with some olives. Oh, I see. I thought you had that is what's happening, is it? You're going to have an olive and sardine gravy, or you're going to have a few olives and sardines before you start. I do like the surf and turf idea of a sardine gravy. I don't know if that's strictly speaking okay, but that's a good-looking dinner you've got there. No, I think that's really on the plate, isn't it? That's served up and ready to go. So you are going to be having a few olives and some sardine paste. Traditional, very traditional starter there, and a lovely Portuguese steak with some garlic and some lovely taters on there. Lovely job. Thanks for sharing, Deagle. You rascal, making my mouth water there. And was that shot driving the Bentley, Doug? I don't know which one of his many vehicles that was. I can be available on Thursday morning. Just let me know. Well, you're booked. I'm going to tell you right now which Thursday that is. It's not going to be this next one, which will be the 19th. 26th, please, Andy. There you go, everybody. That's a booking live on air. Many of you will know and love Andy, and he'll talk about his story if you want to know more about him. The man behind Man Cave 2.0 joining me on the 26th. So there you go. That's a booking. Thanks, Gary, for facilitating that. He is such a lubricant, isn't he, old Garvo? A total and utter lubricant within our community, making things move more smoothly and getting in there and making things stop squeaking as well. Boa tarde da Ilha Vancouver Island there in Canada. Fantastic. Ilha Vancouver. Eu vou a Madeira para a sétima vez and estou feliz. Well, thank you very much, Sandy. That's a great Portuguese effort tonight. She's shown everybody else up. All very expatty in English tonight, isn't it? And Sandy's weighed in there with some lovely Portuguese. And that, I think, says... if you've been to Madeira 7 times, is that right, Sandy? And thank you for being here tonight, Sandy Twiddy. Really appreciate it. What else have I got for you in the way of videos and stills? We're really doing a nice wrap up on the week here. Vitor is up. He's quite a bonkers bloke and a lot of fun, actually. And he's our man in the north, is how I refer to him. And he has a residency. I think he's on the week after next, talking about the north of Portugal. Overlooked, underestimated, but not by Vitor, who's up there in the north and was today, and filed this video, plus a couple of others and a still which we'll cover now. Here he is. This is his first one.
Hello. The view from Monte do Faixo. Braga's there somewhere. Hi.
He's pretty good with the facial gestures, isn't he? And it continues.
Here's the church. And the sunset, which is much better in person. Bye, Red Sun.
There you go. That's Vitor Costa. What a great bloke he is. He is a bundle of energy and enthusiasm, and very happy to help you if you want to know anything about the north of Portugal. Yep, a monthly residency on the Good Morning Portugal show, so catch him at certain times of the month. And he also shared with me, okay, the Miradouro he's talking about there is Monte do Faixo, in case you're wondering, because I did ask him to spell that for me. I think I might be able to bring it up onto the screen for you. Monte do Faixo. Yes, good. He's so thoughtful. He has sent me this, folks. Let me just share a still of it first. Have a look at that. That's the view from up at Monte do Faixo, looking down over Braga. And I can also share with you its map location if you're thinking of heading up there, as everybody should. Okay, everybody needs to go up to the north of Portugal at the very least to go to the Peneda Gerês National Park. It is superb. As you come in from Spain into Portugal, you're into that national park, and it is quite brilliant. And that doesn't give much away there, does it? Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit to make that make more sense. But Monte do Faixo, Miradouro. A Miradouro is a viewing point. What is that? A Miradouro. Does that mean like a golden view, possibly? Mira is a nice coastal resort as well. Mira's fantastic, near Tosha, up near there in Aveiro. But there you go. Just look at the red pin there, Monte do Faixo, and you can see Viana do Castelo up to the north there on the estuary. Esposende, Povoa de Vargem, and Braga over to the, what would that be? East, southeast, isn't it? Yes, east, southeast, or south. Is that how you would say? East, southeast, Braga there. And really a very important part of the country. Yeah, straight up north is Ponta de Lima, aforementioned in the show. And as I zoom out more and more, for those of you who need to be able to reference this correctly in the entirety of Portugal, there you go. Keep your eye on that red pin. And that's what we're talking about. Far north there, up there, way north of Porto, north of Villarreal and the Miradouro. Thanks to that. Thanks to you, Vitor, for that today. Monte do Faixo. A stunning view, and even on a cloudy day, it looked pretty awesome, didn't it? Okay, you are watching the Feel Good Portugal show, minus a Mrs. M tonight. Not much has been said, folks, about this homesickness thing. I think Garvo pretty much nailed it. No looking back. Put his bare feet on Portuguese soil, and there has been no looking back since. Just has fallen in love, has had a kind of soul transfusion or something. Deagle saying, hola, Carl, 15 minutes today. I hope people are doing it on Memrise. Ooh. That makes me think of doing it on memory foam, and what sort of memories must be held inside a memory foam mattress. Don't bear thinking about, really, does it? Especially if they come up with some technology to replay those memories. If you can lie on a mattress and plug in a USB or something and hear a mattress tell its tales of the ups and downs of its existence, if you like. Literally. Muito bem for you, Deagle, there. That's what I wanted to find for you. You get a nice thumbs up, muito bem, from Philomena, whose pictures and videos we saw early on tonight. And she's fantastic. And we did have a really fantastic session talking to her about Portuguese culture on Thursday night, and more on Friday morning, of course, notwithstanding my sound issues. That it was vocab grammar. It was a lot, wasn't it? There was a lot in there, and I will segment that. I don't think the show was worth re-podcasting in its entirety because of all the sound issues, but I let her get cracking with it, and she spoke all about the Portuguese language tuition part, mostly on her own and without me. So that's the segment I will republish as a video and a podcast next week sometime. Oh, yes, talking of which, webinars, the Spartan FX webinar from Thursday night is up online as well on our YouTube channel. Folks, we are getting close. Us Gumpers, and this is the bumper sticker we might do. Gumpers do it every morning. Us Gumpers are getting very close to 9,000 subscribers. And I think something quite magical happens on YouTube when you get to 10,000. So let's see what happens there. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It will really help. And yeah, you can also think about becoming a member if you wish as well, if you want to support the YouTube channel specifically. I think, do you know what? I think we're up to date. There's the song we were singing. Can anyone remember the tune of that? Because I can't. I couldn't hit the tune on Friday, let alone remember it now. But Papagayo Loiro, if you want that, do you know what? She sent me the PDF of that as well. If you want the lyrics for that song, if you want to sing along, watch the replay and sing along at home. I took a lot of stick on Friday, I can tell you, trying to sing that. The logo, Nubinet's got to go out and drink beer. I think I might call it a day in just a moment. Since I missed Louisa, I'll have to check out her videos probably tomorrow morning. Yeah, good on you. She's taken a bit of a break from those and videoing, but I'm thinking we might be able to bring her back on a Saturday night. Okay, please send nice, encouraging messages and I'll pass them on. Land in Portugal, knock 30 years off your age, you become younger straight away. Yeah, Capricorn 12. He's actually in real life 60, but he only looks like a 30-year-old when he's here in Portugal. It's quite extraordinary. Gumper for life as well. That's our a Gumper bumper sticker there. Yesterday with Philomena was excellent. Enjoyed the whole week of shows as well. Thank you, Kent, for saying that, because it was overshadowed a little bit by the technical goings on. So I really appreciate that feedback. And I think this has been a nice roundup of everything that went on that I might have missed. And this is part of, I think, what we're going to do on a Saturday night is catch up with anything that has been missed during the week, things that people have sent in that I've neglected or forgotten. And yeah, another reminder, if you sent me something and I haven't shared it on screen, it's not because I don't want to or don't like it or don't like you or anything silly like that. It's because of the volume now of what gets, and on WhatsApp things get buried and missed. So please feel free to say, "Oi, Manson, you've forgotten me the thing that I sent in." LX Factory, I think you possibly need to know about this. What I'm going to do is actually play this now. I'm going to upload it and play it because Andy has sent it to me. This is a really special place in Lisbon, actually. And I think it is known as a fairly famous tourist attraction, the LX Factory, or El Gish, if you're Portuguese. But this is something well worth putting on your list. If you're a sort of person who thinks, well, I eschew and avoid tourist attractions, don't do that with this, because it's well worth going to the El Gish factory. And did you guys walk all the way along the river today from the El Gish to the Park of Nations? Because if you did, that's a very good effort. But I'm sure it's your Great Dane would have literally taken that journey in their stride. Did you go all that way today at El Gish to Park de Nações? That's amazing if you did. So here's the video now, perhaps that was made today by Andy and Margarida, just loading up on my video deck now. And I'm going to go to Ericeira after this, actually. But El Gish Factory here, right now, for you on Feelgood Portugal.
Your destination is on the right.
Oh. So, where's the way down?
Yeah, you just
straight down.
have to wait for them to.
Very good. That warehouse that you could see up on the right-hand side there is full of shops and offices. Really very cool place. Co-working spaces there. And you're right next to the, I think you might have seen in the video there, the 25 de Abril Bridge. Really cool part of town. And when I was working with Owlnet, another social networking idea, not unlike the Alternative Living Portugal, we had an office there next door. Andy, Margarita, what's that called at the back of the bus garage there? We had one of those cool offices made out of old containers, and there's a double-decker bus there, which is the restaurant. That is a very cool part of town that you were in there at the El Gish factory, obviously fairly recently. And isn't it amazing how in Portugal you can just drive into these places as they were doing? Brilliant. And we're going to go to Ericeira now. We're going to stay in that part-ish of Portugal. This was sent to me by James. James Holly, you might remember, from California. Join me on Thursday. We had so much to talk about. We're going to do a part 2, and we're going to do that this coming Thursday. And he's going to be the Thursday after. And he sent me all sorts of clips. And he's quite a perfectionist. So he's going to turn this into an audio-visual presentation. And this is quite a remarkable part of it. Check this out. Isn't that extraordinary? I thought to myself, okay, that's kind of weird. You're looking at a mural and you're seeing these streets disappear, and then an actual car comes past, and it's quite discombobulating. More of that to come from James Holly when we speak to him again next Thursday. Now, part of what I was going to do, and I think what we'll finish with, is public art in Portugal to celebrate community creativity. We've seen tonight, and Michael Bliss, you haven't got back to me yet, but Michael and Cheryl Bliss, I think I'm going to have to share the Spotify link to their work. But we've shared some incredible creativity from our community tonight, all the wonderful photographs and videos. People are so wonderful in their thoughtfulness about other people in the community, sharing things that you might like to see. And what did we see? We saw Thunder Ducks, San Martino de Porto Tunnel, Dougie's very helpful videos, snow from Carlos in Dakota, Si's website, Alternative Living Portugal, Mark and Mary's lovely photographs from the Azores, Terrence's amazing podcast and creativity that you saw from his website. Quite extraordinary. Now, what you'll also realize and recognize when you come to Portugal is that public art is really important. Creativity in the community expressed in that way. How much public art there is, how much graffiti there is, how much of a commitment. I was in, where was I yesterday? Alcobaça. Incidentally, Alcobaça, there's an actually, yeah, that reminds me, I want to show you my pictures of Gralha Beach before we go. That's probably what I'll finish with. I'll finish this evening with this morning's pictures from Gralha Beach. They were superb, even if I say so myself. The views, not the pictures. In Alcobaça yesterday, not far, pretty much on our doorstep here in Portugal. An incredible green park. Looked up how to get there. Saw some TripAdvisor. Actually, I saw some really negative stuff on TripAdvisor about this green park in Alcobaça, which is a children's playground and a cafe. And there's public art there, really clever stuff. And then you walk around the corner, there's I think a dinosaur exhibition. We were too late to get there to go to that, but so much on show, so much available, and people are moaning on this TripAdvisor site about the Green Park in Alcobaça. Take no notice. Don't be put off by anything negative you see about the Green Park in Alcobaça. Go there. It was superb. The children's playground was excellent. The cafe was excellent. The cafe had cheesecake from Atelier de Doce, one of the finest patisseries in Portugal. It was superb. And it's like, this is in a small town, not on the beaten track, really. And this most incredible attention to detail, fantastic children's playground, fantastic cafe, and superb public art, which you see all over the place in Portugal. And that's my penultimate share with you, is public art in Portugal, okay? This is one of the reasons why you should, I mean, people do struggle a bit with the idea of paying tax in Portugal, don't they? They do. They think, socialistic Portugal. It's not like America, where you can minimize your tax bill. This is... socialism running wild, taking all your money. In Portugal, you actually get to see the taxes put to good use, I would say. And this is one aspect of it. So I'm going to share with you now from Visit Portugal, their effort at arte urbana in Portugal, street art in Portugal. So let me share a little bit of this with you. There's a lovely gallery within what I'm about to share. And I think you're going to like it. And so we'll do this, and then I'll show you me Gralha pictures to finish tonight. But street art in Portugal, as you might imagine, there's a great big owl or bordalo mural there. That's in Covilhã. And you can't see that very big at the moment. But I'm going to go to the gallery in just a little while. Umbrellas, like you might see in Agueda and other places in Portugal have copied that. But then you switch to the gallery and you'll see some of the incredible pieces here. Okay, so let's go to this first one that I wanted to share with you tonight. Community creativity, or communities actually, what are they doing? They're celebrating creativity. This is a country that bothers to do this all over the country. It's just not a one-off in some particular municipalities or villages. This happens all over Portugal. It's quite extraordinary. Let me see if I can pump this up a bit. Where's the plus on this keyboard? I've got my Portuguese keyboard here. This might not work. Oh, yes, there we go. I'm blowing that up for you to make it a little bit better. Look at that elaborate work of art on the side of a building there by Pixel Pancho. That's in Lisboa. I think I've driven past that one. Yes, I think that's down near Beato Way-ish. Quite extraordinary. Beautiful piece of work. When Children Sleep, great big mural that you'll see from the sky there in a branch. Isn't that amazing as well? That looks like it's done in an old castle. Am I showing this actually on? No, I'm telling you about this, but not. There you go. I'll go back to the other one in just a minute. I can see that you're probably shouting at me in the comments. Still not showing up, mate. Not showing up. Thank you for that. Okay, and we've got some street art from the LG factory from Andy. Thank you for that. Thank you for letting me know. You can see them now. Okay, so there's When Children Sleep, which is pretty special, and that's made by what is that? Ella and Peter must be the artists of that. Only visible from the sky, and in an old castle. An castle enclosure in an old historic site. Superb. So let's go back to the one I was talking about, but didn't show you. By Pixel Pancho. This is near Beato, I believe. As you can see, it's on the water there. I think in an older industrial part of Lisboa. Alexander Silva took the photo. Pixel Pancho did that amazing mural there. And as I said, these sorts of things are all over Portugal. So one more for you. This is Odith, and scale of that you can see from the photographer and the person he's photographing at the foot of that. Setúbal. Actually, I've got a photograph from Setúbal as well. That's another completion from the week, which I've neglected to show you. I'll show you a windmill in a minute in Setúbal. But that's Odith, I believe, is the name of the artist there. Setúbal, and that incredible mural there as well. All over the country, there is a great respect for street art. I mean, the illegal stuff, there's a lot of graffiti, but there's a great respect for public art in this form as well that's been commissioned, and public money has been spent on such projects. So there you go. That's Virtual Portugal. Sorry, visit what we're talking about. Visitportugal.com. Check that out as a tourist resource, and you'll find those wonderful pictures there. It barely scratches the surface, but it does give you some idea, doesn't it, of what's amazing here. And Andy helping, I think, with a further contribution. Oh yes, superb. What is that? Oh, I think, is that your first time? You live there in Lisbon, and the first time, and you drove straight into it. This is delightful. Let me just show you some of the street art then from the LX factory. I'm just downloading these now as we speak. Extraordinary. I remember a lot of these, actually, I have to say. It looks like you had a great time there. What was the food like, Andy? You weren't at the brasserie there, were you? That's at the other end of the water. But this lovely street art, thank you so much for this. Appreciated. Yeah, and actually, if you've got street art from Portugal and you can't send it in tonight because we haven't got time or whatever, send it in anyway, and we'll show it during the week. Always happy to do that. The WhatsApp number, best way of doing it, as Andy is so used to doing now, is 351 is the national code, obviously, for Portugal. Then 913-590-303. Going to show those in just a moment. Oh, and the Blisses. Yeah, I can't play any music, unfortunately, Michael, because I get myself YouTube struck if I play your music. But look, let me just put the websites in for both yours and Cheryl's music. michaelblissmusic.com. This has been an absolute celebration and recognition and an acknowledgement of the incredible creativity within our community. There's Michael's music. Seriously, check it out. And wife Cheryl Bliss as well. She's an incredible, incredibly talented person as well. And you can find her work on this website, cherylbliss.com. So you got michaelblissmusic.com and cherylbliss.com. You will not regret checking those out, and you will thank me for that later, I think. So you had ale for lunch, by the sound of it, at the LG factory. Let me pop a few of these pictures up then that you very kindly sent in, Andy. Thanks tonight, mate, for all your pics that you sent in, and looking forward to talking to you on the 26th of November about your journey here. Here's the first one of yours. Ale for lunch, and this is the feast for your eyes that you're sharing with us now. Actually, I'm going to take your comment off so people can see that in its full glory. Also then at the LG factory, this special picture too, quite amazing. Look at that. And it's quite, they don't make too much of a fuss about it either, do they? It's almost quite disposable. There's so much creativity and so much art. It's not at all pretentious or showy. It's just like, this is an abundantly creative place. here's some public art. And then, like, here's some more public art after that. I don't know, not quite. Oh, hold on a minute. I've got to delete a few things now. Forgive me. Oh, I'll tell you what, I forgot to show you Natalie Gray's windmill in Setúbal. There you go. She wanted me to share that with you. Isn't that beautiful? Now, often with these, we'll come back to you in a minute, Andy, but often you'll see the building, but without the windmill structure, and you'll think, what is that building there that looks like a cavalier's hat or some sort of, some ancient hat that a gentleman might have worn long ago, because you don't see the timbers of the windmill, and there it is in its full glory, obviously without the sails, but you can certainly see that that's a windmill in that picture. Setúbal, Santiago to Cacém, I think, which is the Setúbal area. All right, let's have a look at some more of the street art from the LG factory today. And, an arty shot yourself here, Andy. Very good. I'm not sure, is that a wall? A wall finish that you've got there, and then sort of 3D things like this as well. Quite superb. A baby scaling a wall at the LG factory. There you go. Proper quirky it is. And those look like great big disposable coffee caps, don't they? That the baby is climbing between. Yep, literally up the wall. That baby there. Have I missed anything, folks, on this wonderful picture fest that you've sent in? A little tram, perhaps, to finish with here tonight. What's going on there then, Andy? Petit Love, Portugal, Lisboa. Is that a little tram that the kids can sit inside and have their photo taken? Oh, very nice. Crikey, my voice is going. I need Mrs. Emmy, don't I, on a Saturday night. Been talking for 2 hours now, I think, pretty much. But it's been a delight to do so and be with you. Karina Amaral, are people respected for those who aren't vaccinated? Excuse me. That's a good question and an interesting seam to open just a few minutes before the end of the show. Do you mean, is it a problem if people aren't vaccinated? I wouldn't say there's an outward and overt respect if you're not vaccinated, but certainly there's not a massive pressure to be vaccinated. And Portugal has I don't think there's no sense there's going to be a mandate here, because people have been so efficient or voluminous in their willingness to become vaccinated, and something like a 90% vaccination rate here, that issue hasn't arisen. And people who I know who haven't been vaccinated have been able to make that choice and not be shamed, but then again, not respected, or it's kind of neutral. It's like I think it's been if you want to use the word respected, the personal choice has been respected, and most people have chosen to be vaccinated in Portugal. So there's a big take-up rate, and the whole polarization that's occurring in some countries hasn't happened in Portugal. Others might like to comment on that. I mean, I think I've pretty much nailed it there, I'd like to think. But let me know what you think. Square Eyes is saying the Salama crypto conference was recently held there. Where were we? At the Algiers factory, was it? A great artisanal place. Yeah, it's a real, one-off, isn't it? It's fantastic. And you can park right in there. We filmed for an Explore video. Nice one. I love Portugal, says Square Eyes. You're not alone. There's a few of us in that condition here. And yeah, thank you, Andy, for your picks tonight. Just then finally, Michael Bliss Music, do check that out. And CherylBliss.com, do check that out as well. Oregonians, thanks for sharing the wonderful art. Another delightful video. So enjoyable. Thank you, Oregonians. There's sometimes nothing more boring than slideshows. Let's be honest. So I hope I haven't overdone it tonight. It's just that it's such a feast, isn't it? There is so much good to share. Marty's here as well. Thanks for showing out, Marty, tonight and showing up. Great photos. Thanks for sharing, Carl. So it seems the appetite for that is good. Actually, a flat wall. I need to look at that again. Hold on a minute. That is a flat wall. Okay, so there you go. There's some trompe-l'oeil style visual effect for you on a flat wall. Thank you for pointing that out, Andy. Superb. Okay, final comments. Where we wear a mask in public, it's still ongoing globally, says Andy. Perhaps connected to the vaccination comment. And smashing photos, says Gemini there. Okay, so let me find my own pictures then. Oh, Gary with a late one. of a Foz de Relo. Was that taken today or an earlier one? That is beautiful. I'll tell you what, while I'm looking for mine, I'm going to witter on a bit and leave this on the screen for you that's just come in from Garvo, the great Garvo, one of the amazing Austin brothers, who for some reason and somehow I will announce on stage one of these days. Okay. So here we go. There's Garvo's Foz de Relo picture, taken by his own hand, I suspect. That's beautiful, and then with a paraglider possibly there, just on the angle of that cliff there. I'll let you savor that. The lagoon there is amazing. That's put that on your list, folks. There's a bar. What is it? What's that bar on the last bar on Foz de Relo beach there, Garvo, where you can sit, and it's like being in Ibiza or any number of exotic places. You can sit there, and it's not in any way pretentious. It's an amazing location looking out of that, and you can have a nice beer and something to eat, and it's all easygoing and fantastic without any of the pretension of some of the world sites where you would have a similar experience and be charged handsomely for the privilege. Very straightforward, everyday life, looking at views like that here in Portugal. I'm going to let you keep looking at that while I find my pictures of Gralha Beach from this morning. Oh, here they are. Let's do these. And I've got a picture of my new favorite lamppost. This was near I wasn't sure if this was public art or if a vehicle had just reversed into it. You can decide in just a moment. Oh, and my set of pics from Gralha. Let me do this. Actually, I will do this by sharing a WhatsApp screen. Okay, so this is it. End of the slideshow. If anyone is getting bored this evening, as we go towards midnight here in Portugal, and we turn off Garvo's lovely picture and make way for me pictures of Gralha Beach from earlier this morning. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your forbearance and patience and enjoyment this evening. I'm getting my booster tomorrow morning after in the hospital, not compulsory, but encouraged in Belfast for hospital workers. And that's how it should be, right, Deagle? I would hate to think that anyone in your profession would be losing their job for making their own decision about what gets put in their body. Capricorn 12, I wear a mask all the time now that it's winter. It's nice, isn't it? Your own breath keeping your face warm. It has its benefits. Superb evening. Love the photos, videos, and reading. Can't wait to get back. Cindy B, thank you for that. Who did that lovely picture? Consume honey. I educate people about the many benefits of eating honey. I thought so. Do you want to come on the show and do that sometime? It's a power food. I so enjoy your show. Can't wait to go to Portugal. When you come here, or even before you come here, come and talk to us about honey, please. Beautiful pictures. Yes. Right back at you, Carlos. I do appreciate your contributions. I think you're going to like these that we're going out with tonight. Okay, so where are we? WhatsApp. Let's have a look. Let's get a screen share going on this, and I'll share a short video and a few stills. Carl, do Portugal Remembrance Sunday tomorrow being neutral in the wars? Not neutral in the First World War, I discovered this week. Neutral in the second, not neutral in the first. Over 7,000 people, Portuguese people, were killed and lost in the First World War. So there may well be remembrances around Portugal tomorrow. Just got back from Dallas, Texas, and no one was wearing a mask. I returned to Puerto Rico, and everyone's wearing a mask. Says Consume Honey. What's the best honey product, bee product, for building immunity? Would it be, because bee pollen's a great stimulant, isn't it? Royal jelly, is it royal jelly that would help? Let us know. Building immunity, which bee product is best for that? Consume honey. Do let me know. Sharing the screen then for this these last few images. I've enjoyed tonight. Thank you so much. It's been lovely to celebrate the creativity, as was Build. And so let me bring this on. My final contribution to this. Hey, what's going on there? Why is that not working? Don't know right now, but I'm determined to find out why. Let me see. Oh, here's a video. Maybe this will work in just a moment. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's my video from this morning. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful there this morning. I'm sorry that's a bit small, but here are some bigger views of Gralha Beach. One of the lesser known beaches on this Silver Coast, and this is one of the San Martino de Porto beaches. And the colours, look at the colours this morning. Pinks and blues and the blacks and the whites there, and some green thrown in for good measure. And that mist that you can see on the hillside there was just rolling down the cliffside as I was out with the dogs this morning. Another one for you, similar sort of picture. It's so evocative and atmospheric. I loved taking these this morning. There's one through the seagrasses of the waves, and the waves are getting bigger. Just round to the right, you get to Salgado Beach, which is lethal. Literally, it has been lethal for some people on that beach. You've got to be careful with the Atlantic coast. So round next on the right, going up the coast, is Salgado, and then that goes to the Nazaré beaches. And we could see this morning the big surf waves that are synonymous with Nazaré. They are coming. The big season is coming at Nazaré, and how people can go into the water with those massive waves and in these temperatures currently, I do not know. But I'm sure they're going to have a fabulous time. There is that's a bit blurry, that one, but this is my exercise hill. I was going to do my growing old disgracefully report, wasn't I? This is the hill I yomp up and down anyway. And I'm really enjoying the Growing Old Disgracefully program. Out with the dogs twice a day. And I'm taking on hills like that. Absolutely loving it. Here's another picture for you of that fabulously misty morning this morning. That's about 7:30 this morning. And then finally for you to see you on your way. That's not the best picture, is it? That's looking up the hill. What was I trying to do? Oh, I was doing a Where's Jimmy instead of a Where's Wally. Or what do you call it in America? Where's Wilfred or something? I was trying to get a picture of Where's Jimmy. That didn't work terribly well. He'd already run off by the time I'd taken that, and he disappeared for ages. I'm going to leave you with this one. I think that's very beautiful, and I thank you so much for joining. Oh, what happened? Disappeared. Okay, never mind. I think you got the gist of it. I think you may have seen some of my photos there. If not, I'll show them on Monday. That is Alnot. Is the is that right? Alnorte. Something like that. Anyway, that's the cafe at the end of the beach there. And Manuka honey is the best. Well, always heard that in Belfast anyway. And Andy likes a bit of Algarve orange blossom honey as well. Going to Walk Alpha. Have a great rest of the weekend, everyone. Thanks, folks. I think it's only right that we play the outro that we play during the week. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'll see you on Monday morning. Take care. Have a great Sunday. Bye for now.